And so now I break this PowerPoint slide into 3 parts: before rounds, rounding, and then after rounds. So this is like your CRMC day from start to finish, but broken down into 3 sections. Slide into 3 parts: before rounds, rounding, and then after rounds. So this is like your CRMC day from start to finish, but broken down into 3 sections. So before rounds, rounding, and then after rounds, OCDs is what we like to call them. So this is how it starts. So you will get sign out from the night team intern in the small PRC. So just be kind and mindful. There's 4 teams, A, B, C, D. All of them are getting sign out from 1 intern. So usually it goes by whoever's there first gets it. There's also 4 computers in the small PRC room, at least 4. I'm not really sure if I think 4. And if you're early enough, you can go in there, you can log onto your computer, you can either start doing your chart checking or even print the list to take the sign out for. And then you get your sign out from your intern. Usually, I've never really seen this take longer than like maybe 10 minutes at most, to be honest. And then you go to the team rounding room. The nice thing about CRMC is that everyone, team A, B, C, and D, the med teams, they're all on the 5th floor. So it's nice. And then this is the part where you start chart reviewing. And if you haven't done so already, print your list so that you can start kind of writing down the information and preparing for your presentation and your plan for your patient for that day. And so now for chart checking, this is the information that this is put into a way where if you follow this every single day, make it a very routine habit, a very systematic approach, you will not miss any objective data being recorded. It really comes down to having a systematic system that you routinely do every single morning, right? And this is one that most of us do. So you first want to start with your vitals, including your ins and outs and any tele events. I'll show you guys where to find those. And then you want to go into your labs. You can start with the CBC and the chem. And you always want to provide a trend about abnormal numbers and have the patient's baseline ready, especially things like hemoglobin, white count, creatinine. And what I mean by this is kind of how I would present. So say someone came in with an AKI and we've been monitoring their creatinine to see if it improved. I would say patient initially presented with a creatinine of 5.5. Today it's downtrending, creatinine's 3.3. However, it's not yet at their baseline of 0.6 to 0.9, right? So much information and not that many words. And I just gave them kind of a gross idea that it's improving, but not quite there yet, right? And that's what you want to do, especially when something is abnormal and you guys are following it. And then you want to check the microbiome. Don't forget to check this culture data, culture data, culture data. You will be asked about your antibiotics and how to tailor your plan based on your culture results. And then you want to check imaging. And then medications administration. You really want to make sure that you check this. I remember when I first started, I didn't realize it, but then you get asked, if someone comes in with like pancreatitis, you're going to get asked, oh, like how much morphine are they requiring? Can we advance the diet? Kind of to give you the objective data of like how much pain are they in? And obviously if they're getting so much morphine, they're not ready to advance the diet. Or if someone's coming in for alcohol withdrawal, how much Ativan have they gotten? Or if someone's coming in for antibiotics, what day is it, right? And you can go back and look at the date and count it. So this becomes very, 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 very important. And then finally, this is where you go to your notes. And I read every single note, even including the nursing note. I will read through all the nursing notes. I will read all the consult notes and really follow up on their recommendations. And so at this point, I've seen all the data. I've seen all the notes, all the recommendations. I have a tentative plan in my mind. that I will briefly discuss with my patient this morning. Obviously, they are subject to change based on what the patient tells you. Say you think that you're going to be switching from IV antibiotics to PO antibiotics, and you go in there and suddenly their cellulitis is worsening. That's okay, right? So that's why I'm saying a tentative plan. I have an idea of what I want to do based on the numbers, but also I need the subjective data to kind of help guide, right? Because we also treat patients' symptoms, not just numbers. And so I have a pretty good idea. I have kind of what I want to do in place, but not finalized until I see the patient. And I'll kind of tentatively tell them what my thoughts are when I do see them. And so you finished chart checking, right? So we got sign out. We went, did our chart check. We went through all this data. We followed up on all the recommendations. And then now it's time to see your patient.